All right. No, so based on that, I have two areas whereby I will pose them as a case study. The first one is, let's talk infrastructure. So talking about how looking at I mean, in Limpopo, a particular village that you're coming from, it's dispersed. So I want to understand, how would you then say, had you been someone who was charged with the project planning, how would you distribute the gas that it would be generated from an on-site source? Because I can imagine it's going to be coming from one source. Are you going to have infrastructure laid out, or are you going to have a collection system?
Well, the idea was to partner up with other people that can actually do the infrastructure, because like this whole project about independent power producers is very like, we need a lot of infrastructure to be invested in that. That's why you only see like the big guns in the game who are like able to be IPPs. So our goal was to sell the biofuel. It was never to kind of actually have the infrastructure to distribute it over like a whole value chain. It wasn't that.
Okay, no, 100%, 100%. Cool. All right, and then the second part of my question is, or the part of the case studies, have you had a chance to think about what I had mentioned? So just to give a brief background, what I had mentioned to Tsepo was that I transitioned from being a project developer for a very solid renewable energy company. It's called Misama Energy. And within the space of, I'd say, last month, or about 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, they got their license to be an IPP. And you can imagine the relationship is still there. I'm still in touch with Melusi, who's the CEO of Misama Energy. And he's a great specialist as well when it comes to hydrogen. So, yes. And then regarding the case study relationship is, I had mentioned to Tsepo that I have access to a source of biogas. And I had also mentioned that this source of biogas is in abundance. And I had also mentioned that I do have a solution for the financing aspect of it. So given that he has mentioned that he wants to be a specific specialist in terms of the whole organization of the program and not actually the infrastructure, I can imagine that he's now going to mainly be focused on ensuring that the systems runs precisely as intended. So how would you then give us a go ahead? Let's say now we're saying, dude, it's Monday, we're starting with a project, here's the source, here's the financing, let's go. What is the first thought that comes to mind? It's like essentially give me an operational rollout
of how I'd go ahead with.
Yes. Yeah, essentially the project.
First of all, like, I think because before this, I wanted to rent out the land. But then if I'm given whatever the budget is, I'm gonna have to buy it.
So okay, pardon me for not mentioning it. In this case, you would essentially have access to the biogas.
Okay.
The source of the biogas is remaining confidential for now. But because we'd be partners, you would be more focused now on the aspect of actually distributing the gas. Because mind you now, there's a source of the gas, there's financing. So how do we go about it? Because remember, you mentioned community. You mentioned a plan on how to get the gas. Now, you are having a team that is focused on giving you the gas, you've acquired the gas, you've acquired the finances. Give me an operational rollout into the community, into the spaces that you mentioned.
Well, like I said before this, I've tried to get a network of people that are in leadership positions, especially back home, from the councillors to the kings and everything. And also, I've even tried to speak to some school principals about the type of renewable energy source that we can provide to them. So the first thing that I'll do is go to them and tell them that the project is a go ahead. We have the fuel, we have the gas. And then after that, the best thing that we can do right now, because we don't have the infrastructure to distribute it, is to partner up with the
relevant persons to advise
to advise us on how we can
most feasible.
because we haven't actually thought that way through. me and my team. So we still, because I told you that I took a pivot because I saw that this project was probably at that moment in time a bit too much for me. But then I don't think the project is not a good idea. It's a great idea.
It's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. So yeah, I'm still working on it bit by bit. Yeah, but then like one thing about me, I think I mentioned this to you, that I'm very persistent. Once I put my eyes on something, I'm not gonna stop until I get it. Yeah.
No, 100%, and I love that. And so now, look, essentially, I'm providing you the platform to actually talk to interested parties who could advise and be a party to the infrastructure rollout, as well as offtake agreements, as well as specialists who can advise in terms of the most feasible way to go about it. Because now remember, you were coming from a background of a space of a bank. That's finances. You understand the bankability of a project. There is a time whereby a project you need to sit in a bank credit committee and you need to give them a proposal to say, hey, this is what it is, right? So we do not have certainty in terms of saying they will approve us. But as I mentioned, the financing solution that I have currently, it's not necessarily a bank credit committee. It's more of a partner who is geared towards the sustainable development goals. We would look to tap into to unlock the necessary financing solutions to actually have this rollout. And we would have to start it with a pilot project on a smaller scale, do a proof of concept. Once the proof of concept is 100%, then we do a national rollout. Understand? And this, I like the idea, or I like the vision, because it has a lot of impact. It has an opportunity to create jobs. It has an opportunity to also create a community ownership structure, whereby there will be other aspects involved, not just temporary jobs, but permanent jobs. And as well as when it comes to renewable energy, I always look to environmental sciences when we look at the sustainability of things.
Definitely.
And one area of mention that I always like to mention is the economic cycle, whereby we don't want leakages. I don't necessarily want leakages in an economic cycle. So there's a lot, and I can tell you one thing, because now you are busy learning about mining which relates to the facilities and underground minerals, including the types of soils, the strata, and the man-work effort required to actually extract, manage, and run either underground or surface operation. This gives you the core fundamentals required to also understand how to run and manage bulk infrastructure. You understand? So I don't know if it's something that you're aware of, but you are at a very, very key area in your life whereby now you realize financing gives you an advantage over anyone who has this, because now you can do financial modeling, you can determine feasibility assessments, as well as back up any project when it comes to the financing, because you don't have to sit in front of someone and present this, the financial aspect of it. You can actually prepare a financial report. Have you ever, I mean, you might have, but I don't want to assume. Have you worked with a financial model before?
Yes, I have.
What kind of a model was this?
Well, for me, like back in school, we were taught how to do our financial modeling using Excel. So the best that I can do is basically using the formulas that were given there on Excel. But then I know that there's other financial modeling techniques that you can use, especially like I've seen like even UCT offers like financial modeling and all that stuff. So it means that there's more to it.
More to it, yeah.
There's more to it than just using Excel. So yeah, that's the best that I have.
100%. So once again, we go back to saying now, I pride myself in being someone who's interested in the knowledge area of project development. So this project that we're mentioning now is a project that I have also been working on, whereby I have developed a financial model. Financial model is ready for being plugged into any kind of environment, any kind of a system. Mind you now, this is only the parameters in the input sheet. Once the input sheet is filled with all the necessary man hours, the staffing teams, the directions and whatever, you can have a revenue stream, directives, you have your income statements, you have your balance sheets, you have your revenue analysis, all of your charts and assessments. So I will ask you again, how prepared are you to pick up the project where you left off and roll it out?
Even this morning, I was talking to my team members on this project, telling them about what we spoke about yesterday. So right now, when I get back, we're gonna continue talking about it because the business hasn't stopped. We've been doing even after when we pivoted, we still went on with taking the plant that we had to a lab at a university in the Western Cape there. And then we still went along and tested it. Even though we don't have the financing and everything, we still go ahead and search more about it, research and get more information about it. So we are very prepared to do everything it takes to get this thing rolling.
No, 100%. I'm happy about that. So I think we've reached an end to the discussion on the renewables related to your position.